June in Oklahoma, it hits differently here. The city of softball, the destination many seek but few arrive.
This goes out to the drifters and all the dreamers ready to fly.
Here's to this place. 40 years and counting. 40 years of laying the groundwork for all that follow.
This goes out to the wild cards and
Here's
all
to
the
celebrating the unbelievable,
just Jefferson hangs on.
embracing the impossible, savoring the unforgettable.
The perfect ending for Jocelyn Allo.
But I'm here to tell you anything can happen in this life if you got the heart and the passion and a godlit fire inside.
Here's to the new hopefuls and the next generation of hustle.
Get ready, Oklahoma.
This goes out to the wild cards. Who's got a wild heart just like mine?
3 games down, 4 to go on day 1 of the World Series. Big day for the Big 12. Texas with another upset of a seeded team. Washington, Arkansas, and now UCLA. Oklahoma rolled and run-ruled Big Ten champion Northwestern with a pair of grand slams. And just about a half hour ago, Charlotte Eccles, a big home run. Natalie Lugo, 6 nearly perfect innings. And the Gators are in the winner's bracket. One more team to follow them there. Oklahoma State trying to make it a perfect day for the Big 12. Arizona trying to get the Pac-12 into the winner's bracket for the first time here in 2022. Kevin Brown, Amanda Scarborough, looking like we're about to announce twins at a gender reveal party here. What a day it's been. It's so great to have the World Series back in Oklahoma City. We've seen 2 of the favorites roll and 1 unseeded team in Texas.
Yeah, and I think that we've seen some offenses really take over games, some lopsided scores. I'm looking for this last game of the quadruple header to be a little bit closer.
Yeah, we wouldn't mind that as fans of the sport. If you're an Arizona fan, you've gotten used to close games of late. The Wildcats, unseeded, have rolled through the postseason. Their 25th trip to the World Series, second most of any program. But this year, they started Pac-12 play miserably, 0-8. They were flailing, shut out in 4 of their first 5 games, out of the top 25 for the first time in 8 years. But they have flipped the switch, winning on the road at Missouri and Mississippi State. 5 complete games in 5 games in the postseason from Hannah Bowen and Devin Netz. Arizona has played both David and Goliath this year, Amanda. 20 losses, but still a 25th World Series appearance.
Yeah, and a program that has the richest of rich postseason tradition, and of course a new face at the helm. Caitlin Lowe taking over for Mike Candrea, the first female head coach to reach the Women's College World Series in her first season.
Yeah, amazing job by Caitlin Lowe and this Arizona team of late. And now they reward a trip to Oklahoma City, and they reward maybe the best pitcher remaining here at the World Series.
She is so special, and I feel like as the season has gone on, she has gotten better and better, and that's Kelly Maxwell, the All-American left-handed pitcher in the circle for Oklahoma State. She is a strikeout pitcher. She deceives hitters. She makes the ball spin, move, dance, wiggle. Any type of word that you can describe a pitch that has crazy movement to it, that's what Kelly Maxwell is going to do. She's going to change speeds, move the ball down the zone, up in the zone, and she has the ability to take over games and get double-digit strikeout numbers in a hurry. Has not given up a run in the NCAA tournament.
She's given up 6 hits, struck out 41. She got the final out of regionals. She got the final out of super regionals. She'll get some outs here in the World Series. Maxwell against this great Arizona lineup when we return.
The NCAA Women's College World Series is presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Arizona Wildcats 38-20. They are mainstays on the World Series stage as we are under the lights for the first time this year here in OKC. Starting lineups brought to you by Capital One. Even when they weren't pitching, Arizona was swinging it this year. .565 slugging percentage, 95 home runs as a team, and Allie Skaggs, 24 of them, tied for 4th in the country. The lone All-American on the Wildcats roster. She'll bat 3rd in a lineup that starts and ends with sophomores. 7 sophs out of the 9 Wildcat starters. You do notice, though, Amanda, a whole lot of lefties in that lineup. Hard enough to hit Kelly Maxwell from the right side. Arizona's going to go left on left quite a bit against one of the first team All-American pitchers and the co-Big 12 pitcher of the year.
Can just go on and on and on about the season that Kelly Maxwell has had for this Oklahoma State team. 279 strikeouts, a 1.16 ERA this season. She'll come right at you.
We saw her last week in Stillwater, where she dominated Clemson, the number 10 national seed. If it's your first time watching Kelly Maxwell, buckle up. Janelle Millonio starts by taking a strike. Game 4 is underway at 8:51 local. Thursday, June the 2nd, a beautiful, crisp night in Oklahoma City. Chris Neighbors, the plate umpire, with Paul Eds, Terry Holt, and Naomi Erdahl filling out the crew. Millonio, the all Pac-12 player a season ago, will miss strike 2. The season beset by injury for Janelle Millonio. At .312 on the year, on base percentage of .353. This time with a lower leg injury, they're thrilled to have her speed, her great slap game back.
Such an interesting matchup with Kelly Maxwell being one of the best pitchers left standing. And actually, I think we're going to have an out-of-the-box call with Millonio on that 2-strike slap from the second base umpire. Will actually go down as an out, so Millonio will be out. Palacios will come up to the plate.
Yeah, that'll go down as 2 unassisted.
And you can tell her foot clearly out of the box, and that umpire from second base has a great view, not worried about calling balls and strikes.
Terry Holt with a call. Advantages of having a 4-person umpiring crew here. But the whole plate umpire doesn't have to worry about that, which is such a difficult call for an umpire to make behind the plate. Strike 1 to Charlize Palacios. Back-to-back first team all Pac-12 player, starting catcher for the Cats. And Maxwell's got the good command early.
I was going to say, just a matchup like this is what we're going to live for in this game. Palacios up against Maxwell. Powerful hitter like Palacios with 19 home runs, 62 RBIs, going up against the All-American Maxwell. And she's so good, Kevin, because of the way that the ball moves. This down pitch that she has thrown, that's a little bit of an off-speed drop ball, is what has set her apart this year. The ball just falls off the table, but she can still move the ball up with her rise ball. She tunnels her rise and her drop ball so well. We'll even bend a curveball here and there on both sides of the plate. But that off-speed drop ball was what won her games last weekend in the Super.
In the NCAA tournament, batters are now 6 for 69 against Kelly Maxwell. 2 walks, 41 strikeouts, 1 extra base hit was a double. On paper, this is certainly the best offense she's faced. 0-2 for Palacios. And down she goes.
Opponents for the season hitting just 141 off of Kelly Maxwell. Goes to an outside rise ball, gets Palacios to chase off of the plate with that pitch. Interested to see how she continues to throw these hitters, if she's going to work more down, going to work more up. I mean, that's just so tough. Why it's so tough to go against her, because you don't know which game plan she's going to come at you with.
All-American versus All-American here as Skaggs hits one in the air to right. Well struck, but into foul territory. And not caught.
Hit off of her hands, too. Didn't even have a glove. That probably hurt. Man, just laughing about it. Like, yeah, I probably should have had it. I was right there, but
Yeah, you got to close the hands around the ball. See?
I think I have a broken hand, I think is what she just said. Read her lips.
Somebody please bring down some ice to that UC Bullets player. 0-1 to Skaggs. 0-2. Special season, Allie Skaggs. Part-time player a year ago, but when we talked to Mike Candrea last year, the head coach at the time, he told us about the major power that she had. And under Caitlin Lowe, she has burst onto the scene, 24 home runs. Her mindset in the box, you asked her what it was, she said, swing. I swing at pretty much everything because I'm confident I can hit pretty much everything. That's a chopper over Maxwell. The second baseman, Carly Petty, couldn't get a clean grip on it. Skaggs aboard in the first.
Could tell that Skaggs was just determined to go up there, swinging early in the count. Says she doesn't get scared. Doesn't matter who's in the circle going up against her. She has so much confidence in herself to get the job done. 24 home runs this season, but that will go down as an infield single. Finding a way to get on base. Good at that.
Continues a terrific tournament for her. Izzy Pacho, the cleanup hitter. And Maxwell has thrown nothing but strikes. The junior Pacho with a ground ball foul.
Pacho, the player that Coach Lowe pointed out as the unsung hero on this team. She's the heartbeat of their team, even her freshman year. Didn't play for 2 years, and now an everyday starter for this team.
.371, slugging .653. Time for the team doubles lead in 13 plus 11 homers. Pacho takes the first ball of the game. Caitlin Lowe, her head coach. Great coaching staff for Arizona. Lauren Lappin, former Stanford assistant. Taryn Mowat-McKinney, pitching coach. Maxwell's 1-2. 5 double-digit home run hitters for Arizona this season. Yes, they play in the desert, but yes, they can still hit it. .324 team batting average. In the Super Regional round, a 3-2 win over Mississippi State N8, and scored 7 to beat the Bulldogs and sweep that series on the road. There's another strikeout. Couple of good rise balls in this first inning, and 2 more strikeouts for Kelly Maxwell, now .281 on the year.
We saw her go down mainly against Clemson in the Super Regional, but Kelly Maxwell is saying, here's my rise ball, I'm going to show it to you, try to hit it. 2 Ks for Maxwell.
Kelly Maxwell picks up a couple of strikeouts in the top of the first. Now the Oklahoma State Bats to swing it against Hannah Bowen. Cowgirls 46-12. And here's the Capital One starting lineup, written out by Kenny Gajewski. 2 All-Americans on this team. Maxwell's one. Miranda Elish is the other. Relegated to just hitting at this point because of an arm injury, but she's had a fabulous year. She is a senior, as is just about everybody else. 7 seniors in this Oklahoma State lineup. Sydney Pennington, their all-time home run leader, behind her. Oh, is that a beautiful sight? Ooh. Under the lights at Hall of Fame Stadium. And the bright lights shine on Hannah Bowen tonight. Another great crowd here in Oklahoma City to see this final game of 4. And the 5'4" senior Hannah Bowen, told us that middle school coaches, high school coaches, college coaches all told her she was too small at some point. She gets the last laugh, ending her career in the World Series.
Been pitching well down the stretch. Has pitched the most for this team with Devin Netz sharing innings, but Hannah Bowen has pitched the most in the NCAA postseason.
3 outings, 3 complete games, and an ERA of 1.59 with 3 wins. She starts with a strike to Chelsea Alexander. Alexander moved into the leadoff spot a couple of weeks ago for Oklahoma State. It changed everything for Kenny Gajewski. 8th game out of the leadoff spot was on Friday against Clemson. Laid down a bunt hit to drive in a run. .394 on base percentage, 8 for 8 steals in those 8 games in the leadoff spot. This Oklahoma State team, the record is very good, the seed is very good, but they were not very good. Kenny Gajewski down the stretch, lost 2 to Florida State, were swept at Oklahoma, took a 5-game losing streak into the postseason, but the switch has been flipped. 8 consecutive wins.
Well, they're an offense, too, that will put pressure on a defense. Not going to see as many home runs or power as what we saw out of this Oklahoma State offense last season. But I'll tell you what, as much as we talked about the pitchers for Arizona with Hannah Bowen and Devin Netz and the way that they've competed in the NCAA tournament, their defense back behind them has stepped up and made plays, too, to limit opponents from scoring.
Bowen had an ERA of 3.67 on the year. In Pac-12 play, her earned run average was 5.93. With 22 innings, only 5 runs here in the tournament. And on 3-2, Alexander grounds one to third, and Pacho throws her out.
Love the way that Hannah Bowen competes in the circle and what she competes with. Her tools are her rise ball and her curveball. Will also mix in a changeup a bit, but that curveball on both sides and her rise ball, she has more upspin that hitters will have to face, throwing the mid to upper 60s. It's fun to watch her compete. An athlete who can hit, play other positions as well.
Was banged up this season, had a couple of different injuries, was involved in a car accident at one point. Had a very tough year, but she feels healthy now and has felt healthy through the postseason. That's drilled foul by Cheyenne Factor. A lot of leadership on this Oklahoma State team. Factor chief among them. 196th game of her career, the senior from Yukon, Oklahoma. Only 3 hits, but 6 RBIs here in the tournament.
Hey, Coach Gajewski has always talked about with Cheyenne Factor that clutch gene, that big hit. When the game's on the line, it's Cheyenne Factor who seemingly comes up to the plate, her in scoring position, and gets a big hit for this team. And she's done it her entire career, not just this year as a senior.
And she's hit here. Factor hit by a pitch for the 7th time this season. Oklahoma State has a 1-out base runner.
And they go up and in on her hands with the rise ball. Ends up just hitting that front elbow. Took it like a champ. She didn't even flinch.
Yeah, without padding or anything there.
No.
So the first base runner for the Cowgirls. He's the only sophomore in the starting lineup, Caitlin Carwile.
It's a player for Coach Gajewski who came into the program as a pitcher hitter, but at the beginning of the year, they decided to just have her focus on hitting. Decided no more pitching, and she just really took off. Says, you want to watch, you want to learn how to compete, watch this kid.
Committed to Oklahoma State at age 13, Carwile. There was a great story a couple of weeks ago in the Oklahoman Scott Wright, or Caitlin's dad, when she committed, said, "That's great, but now you got to call all these other coaches and tell them your decision." A lot of responsibility for a 13-year-old. She never wavered, and about 6.5 years later, she is not only at Oklahoma State, she is hitting in the middle in the primary spot in this lineup, which is filled with one after another upperclassmen. Bowens 2-2. Carlisle pops it foul. Pacho makes the play.
A little off speed there to be able to get Carlisle out in front of that pitch. Easy pop up. Pacho using every single inch of the field here against the Oklahoma State dugout. Again, you're going to see Arizona step up defensively. Only committed one error this entire NCAA tournament.
A tough defensive season much of the year. .965 fielding percentage, but they've come together at the right time down the stretch. Here's Miranda Elish. It's been an okay offensive season by Oklahoma State standards. .295 team average. .386 on base, 66 homers. This is their one All-American hitter. You've seen Miranda Elish on this field before if you're an annual World Series watcher. Began her career with the Oregon Ducks. A couple of years there, went to Texas, a couple of years there, and decided to opt out of last season. He's talked about dealing with anxiety and depression, stepping away from the game. Told us that she did not think she was going to return to softball until the night before she put her name in the transfer portal in August. Very quickly got connected with Kenny Gajewski, found a home at Oklahoma State, said to us it was the best decision she ever made.
She has a different role on this team now with, got injured in the series against Texas in Stillwater. She was pitching, got injured in that 7th inning and had to come out of the game. Couldn't finish the game in the circle even for that last out. Haven't seen her pitch since in a game and has just transitioned to be the DP everyday hitter with her only role being an offensive role.
Bowens 2-2. And a smoke through the left side. Elish, in her return to the World Series stage, knocks a single through and moves Factor to second.
And Coach Gajewski always loved what he saw from Miranda Elish up at the plate as soon as she got on campus because of her short, compact swing, shortening up there, letting that pitch get deep, driving it the opposite way. Just an absolute star in this game, and how lucky are we that we had one more year, one more chance to watch Miranda Elish play when we didn't think that she was going to be back in this game. Now here she is back at the World Series.
And playing, by the way, against her sister's team. We'll get into that story more. Maddie Elish is a reliever on the Arizona staff. And here's Pennington. I'll tell you what, I know it's the first inning, but with Kelly Maxwell in the circle, this feels like a capital M moment right here for Arizona. Sydney Pennington, a player that has hit more home runs than anybody in the history of this Oklahoma State program. Oh, and gets the outside corner.
A little bit off the plate there with that curveball. But Sydney Pennington started every game of her career, 266 starts. He's been with this program when they were just lucky to make a regional Their goal was to make a regional, and now they think World Series and national championship.
Had to go for that one off the corner just to be safe. "47 home runs in the career of Sydney Pennington. Has saved her best for last year. 7 for 15 with a walk and a double in this NCAA tournament. Trying to put the Cowgirls on the board first under the lights. And that one's popped up and out of play.
Nice catch.
Well done. I think he took Courtney's shirt. Bowen 1 strike away from escaping the first. That's it. A fist pump and a roar from Bowen, who strands a pair of Cowgirls.
She is so serious all the time, never cracks a smile or any emotion. So the outburst of emotion with a runner in scoring position, and she gets the K. Hannah Bowen, you deserve it.
Welcome back to the Women's College World Series, where Miranda Ellis has singled in her return to Oklahoma City. What a special moment, what a special night this is for Miranda, who is one of 2 Ellishes on the field. There's her sister Maddie and Andrea Carter. Miranda never thought this day would come.
Yeah, Kevin, you're absolutely right. We talked to Miranda, and she said that growing up, her and Maddie would hit off of each other and train together when they were much younger. But being 5 years apart, they never imagined facing each other. So it's a truly special moment. I talked to their mom, Dawn, and the family approach has been to have 2 on Arizona side, 2 on Oklahoma State side. They have divided logo t-shirts. She said she is so sad someone has to lose tonight, but so incredibly proud.
That is so cool, Drea. I mean, Miranda Ellis, we thought was done with college softball, and now to get to play against her sister. This is the picture. There's the t-shirt for Dawn, the house divided between Miranda and Maddie.
I mean, they never thought this was going to happen, that Maddie would get a chance to play against Miranda because of their age difference. But Miranda has been around for so long. Ellis and her sister Maddie being a freshman, here they are at the World Series together.
Miranda's 5 years older, so we think you can figure out who's who in this picture. Big
Adorable.
sister, little sister. There's a chance Maddie pitches. Hasn't pitched in the postseason yet. But 31 appearances on the year, tied for second on the staff. Who knows? Maybe, just maybe, there will be some Ellis magic in the moonlight.
I mean, but the chances of this happening with their age difference, you just didn't think when Miranda started playing in college that she would still be here for when Maddie was a freshman. And now they're playing against each other.
Only because of the extra COVID year that had a chance to happen. Carly scooping the batter, and Scoopin thought she was hit. Chris Neighbors didn't think so. Arizona does have 2 challenges. And Caitlin Lowe is going to come out of the dugout.
This is something that can be challenged.
If only she had a Velcro strap hanging off her leg to make it clearer. Arizona is going to call for one of its 2 challenges here. Which is great because it lets us listen to a little careless whisper. Okay, Christy Cornwell, our rules expert, is with us. Christy, walk us through. What do you see here?
Well, there's 2 things they'll be looking at here on this play. One, deciding whether or not the ball hit her. And then they'll have to look at the position of the ball. If the position of the ball was completely inside the batter's box, the batter is not obligated to make an attempt to move out of the way. So they'll be looking at those 2 things.
Are you seeing enough, Christy, to overturn this call from the looks so far?
Wow. If it's touching her, it's just a little baby kiss by a thread. So I'm going to let the replay experts make that call.
Christy, we did have a play some folks were talking about earlier in the Oklahoma game where there was a hit by pitch because of a strap hanging off one of the batter's guards, which was called a legal hit by pitch. How odd was that for you to see?
That was odd. The ruling was the guard is actually approved equipment. It's under the uniform rule, so it is part of the uniform, so that qualifies as hitting her clothing.
So we had the strap here, and we have this, which appears to be by Adams, if anything else. So, Christy, thank you. Now you need indisputable video evidence to overturn it. That's the standard.
And the looks that we see there, I feel like it's really hard to tell if it did indeed hit her.
Listen.
Ball.
All right, here's the call.
That pitch, he's going to first.
That's so close that if we don't have these incredible cameras like we have here at the World Series and it's just a regular 4 or 5 camera game, I don't think that one gets overturned to be a hit by pitch. But we have special tools and equipment and people here, so.
Yeah, we got a nice little 40 camera show. I'm told by our softball head honcho, Meg Aronowitz, that we had 38 cameras last year and up to 40 this season.
It's trying to up our game every year.
That's right. 42 next year, or we riot.
Ball.
That's a ball to Paige Dimmler. So a hit by pitch for Skupin. And here is Dimmler, part of the Pac-12 all-freshman team.
Oh. Caitlin Lowe says that Paige Dimmler is just a pure hitter. And actually, Dimmler reminds her of our very own Jessica Mendoza. He said, though she's goofy, but when she steps in the box, it's like game on. When she thinks too much, she's just never going to work. But a pure left-handed hitter for this team with a little bit of pop.
I believe that was a compliment. She reminds
Definitely.
Jessica Mendoza.
Huge compliment.
No question. We know Jess loved that. Caitlin said she'd be looking off at something in the distance, and then she steps into the box and totally locks in, Paige Dimmler. Only freshman in this Arizona lineup, which is largely populated by sophomores. We're going to be sticking with Arizona for a couple of days, but Paige would like to get into the Mendoza bracket. The Wildcats can win a couple here. One of 3 unseeded teams. And down goes Dimmler. Third K for Kelly.
Now this is like a backdoor curveball. Starts right at Dimmler's hip, then it cuts back toward the middle of the plate. Backdoor curveball by Kelly Maxwell, just giving these hitters another look.
Plays Behringer. This is strike 1 as Maxwell goes low. Designated player transferred over from Ole Miss. Largely a slapper, free swinger. And she's free swung at a couple of low ones.
So it's a clear game plan against Behringer to use that drop ball, be more down the zone. I mean, with the way that Kelly Maxwell is throwing this year, she can go to that curve ball, she can go up with her rise ball, she can move the ball down with her drop ball, and then also mix it an off-speed drop ball.
Ball.
First inning we saw the curve, the rise, the drop, and the change. 4 different pitches in just 16 total pitches.
Ball.
And Coach Gajewski always gives John Barkfeld, their pitching coach, who is a former head coach at Tulsa down the road from them, so much credit when it comes to pitch calling. There he is right there.
Called him the best game caller in the country. He said that when they hired John Bargfeld a couple of years ago, the first person he called was Kelly Maxwell. And Kenny said, I did this for you. You took a chance. You redshirted. Sat out a year, redshirted. He said, you deserved a pitching coach like this.
Ball.
Ooh. It's a great take if that's not going to be called a strike. But, man, that is a pretty pitch. Right at the knees, curveball. I don't really know where that missed. Or how Behringer took it, to be honest.
Three-two. Couldn't take that one. That's number 4.
That goes up and in on her hands with this low rise ball. Such a pretty pitch. Oftentimes you'll see a pitcher throw that rise ball and have to use it to expand the strike zone at the shoulders, at the eyes. But for Kelly Maxwell, she could throw that pitch right at the letters.
That's a strike to start Sophia Carroll. 4 strikeouts now for Maxwell. Infield single hit by pitch allowed. Carroll, the sophomore, first-year starter from Phoenix. Eight batters in the game. 7 have been in a 2-strike count. Everybody except Skupin, who was hit by a 1-1 pitch. Wow. Mad Maxwell, Furious Road. Strikes out 3 in a row in the second. 5 through 2 for the ace of aces here at OKC.
After that hit by pitch, it was all business for Kelly Maxwell. A backdoor curveball, a rise, like a drop ball on the outside corner there. 3 strikeouts in a row.
And the James Madison Dukes are staying in the winner's bracket.
That was 1 year ago on day 2 of the World Series. One of the greatest stories of the sports year, what James Madison and Odyssey Alexander did, beating Oklahoma State. But there was another side to that story. Oklahoma State, which was in the winner's bracket, beat Georgia, was heavily favored, lost to JMU, lost to Florida State the next night, really the following morning after that at 2:18 a.m. And a Cowgirls team that looked like it had a path to the winner's bracket ended up getting bounced after just 3 games at the World Series. Their 3rd consecutive trip to the College World Series. They are motivated by the failures on this field of the last couple of years. And Drea, they think that this is a different team with a different mentality this time around.
Yeah, absolutely, Kevin. I talked to Coach Gajewski about that play. He said he can't take anything away from Odyssey Alexander because the play was incredible, but it was a great lesson for this season's team on what happens when you hesitate and play on your heels. So they have been all out without the emergency brake on full speed.
And Dre, we talked to some players yesterday and talked to Kenny Gajewski about this. They feel like the week leading up to this tournament has been different. Well, Kenny said a little thing that stuck out to him. Last couple of years, they'd win super regionals. They'd practice in shorts. And he got a text early from one of the players Sunday that said, are you practicing shorts or pants? And I said, you know what, we're practicing in pants. They went hard for 3 hours on Sunday. And he felt like this team has been challenged more in the week leading to the World Series. Sidney Pennington said to us, the last couple of years our goal was to get here. This year our goal is to win it. He goes down and Hannah Bowen picks up the strikeout.
Hannah Bowen starting to limp after that last pitch. I saw it a little bit in the first inning, but not enough to think, okay, what I'm seeing is real, and she's definitely limping. Thought I just saw something in the corner of my eye, and then she continued to walk normally. After the strikeout, though, not sure if she landed awkwardly. Right there. After she landed, fist pumped, and then went awkwardly back on her leg.
A pop-up from Busby to Meoño. Remember, Bowen has been banged up this season.
Now batting for the Cowgirls, catcher number 4, Taylor Tuck.
Caitlin Lowe told us yesterday Hannah had been dealing with a hip injury earlier in the year.
Taryn Mowat McKinney, her pitching coach, who was World Series champion and All-American at Arizona.
Ball.
Taylor Tuck with a pop-up. Caught by a sliding Jasmine Perez-Chica. Banged up or not, Hannah Bowen will walk off the mound with a 1-2-3 inning.
I hope we get to see this Arizona defense make more plays like this. Their defense is one of the big things that got them here. Perez-Chica with the sliding catch. Hannah Bowen all in.
It's more beautiful every year, this place. Oklahoma City, our home to the World Series once again. Our home to the University of Arizona softball once again. Kind of feels like it's Jenny Finch's second home. She's here all the time, the Wildcat great and a World Series champion in 2001. Who do you think's going to sign more autographs today, Kat or Jenny? There's a full Osterman line in game one.
Yeah, the stars are out here. Even rumblings of Peyton Manning being here.
Rumblings of Peyton Manning. Look at you, man.
Oh, I love this.
2001 National Championship. One of the best to ever do it. One of the best seasons to ever do it. Shut out UCLA. 40-game win streak going back to 2000. When she and the Wildcats won that national championship. That was the 6th. They've won 8. 06 and 07, Caitlin Lowe playing. This is the longest championship drought for Arizona since they won their first one in 91.
And still to this day, when you ask a young pitcher, hey, who's your favorite pitcher? Who do you want to be just like? So many of them still, to this day, say Jenny Finch, and she hasn't thrown a pitch in a game in a while, long while. She's such a big influence for this sport when she was a player, when she was an Olympian or a college player, then when she was an Olympian, and then now, even as a retired player, for what she does with the sport.
Who was that pitcher for you?
I really looked up to Lisa Fernandez. And Krista Williams, too. She was a pitcher from the Houston area and got to watch her pitch in high school. And so, being from Texas, she was one of the first pitchers I remember going and watching in person.
Did you throw the changeup like Lisa with your arm flailing out to the side?
I wish I had Lisa's changeup, or Millie Thompson's for that matter, from Clemson.
Into left field, Perez-Chica drops in a hit. Arizona's number 9 hitter in the middle of just a 2-for-12 tournament. Leads off the third with a base hit against Maxwell.
Isn't that how it always plays out? She makes that sliding catch to end the inning, and then she comes up to lead off the inning. Connects with one, finds some grass down the line, and is giving the energy and life to this team.
It's 12 for 24 against lefties this season. And the second hit for Arizona against the first team All-American. Here's Mayonio trying to push a bunt. Pennington throws her out. Perez Chica takes second. Successful sacrifice for Mayonio.
Good sacrifice there by Janelle Mayonio. Good play too by Pennington, but such good barrel control to move that runner into scoring position by Mayonio for the big bats now that come up in the order for Arizona, with 5 double-digit home run hitters coming up in a row.
Palacios, the first of those 5. Strike one to starter. Charlize Palacios has hit an absolutely ridiculous .465 with runners in scoring position this year. Maxwell so far has owned her up in the zone.
There have been some close pitches that Arizona has taken out of the hand of Kelly Maxwell, some that we're used to hitters swinging at, but tells me that they're seeing her well, have a good plan against her, maybe picking up on something about that curveball, trying to catch that outside corner that they feel confident in taking.
One, two. Palacios pops it out of play.
Kelly Maxwell just did not look happy with where that pitch was located after the foul ball went up into the stand. She was kicking the dirt a little bit. Looked like a good pitch to hit, too close with 2 strikes there and a 1-2 count.
Again on 1-2. That's a little better. 6 strikeouts for Maxwell. Well, Caitlin Lowe, taking over for Mike Candrea, lost a lot of production from last year's team. Multiple Americans, Jessie Harper, Deja Mulipola, Alyssa Denham, Mariah Lopez in the circle. This is everything Arizona lost from last year. So in retrospect, maybe the top 10 preseason ranking shouldn't have been such an automatic, and maybe it shouldn't have been such a surprise when Arizona struggled and took time to find its footing this year.
Think about everything that they lost to graduation. Some players who were there for 5 years and were there for that extra year, to where this sophomore class had to give it a beat. They had to wait a year to enter into their starting positions, and you see the impact that those younger players and even a freshman like Paige Dimler had an impact on this offense to try to fill that offensive void.
You know, we have some great folks in our research department here. Courtney Foss came up with this great number. Mulipola, Harper, and Alyssa Palomino Cardoza last year, 339, 45 homers. Skaggs, Scoop, and Palacios this year, 354, 62 homers. Sophomores outdoing last year's super seniors in some way.
The numbers are staggering, and then losing Alyssa Denham and Mariah Lopez combined for 28 wins last season. And then don't forget, you lost Mike Candrea as your head coach. So just the turnover that they had in their program, and a new power trio of Skaggs, Scoopin, and Palacios to come in and step up and hit the bombs.
The All-American, Allie Skaggs, takes ball 3. Scoopin waiting in the wings with Pacho on deck. Arizona's number 3 hitter trying to solve Kelly Maxwell. And she will take a walk.
I think that could have been by design there with first base open in the year that Allie Skaggs is having. I mean, had such a good at bat, saw the ball well off of Maxwell in her first at bat, swung big.
Just a third walk. 24 innings against Maxwell in this NCAA tournament. And she'll go after Pacho.
Caitlin Lowe said earlier this year that they were at rock bottom, as low as they could go. They had some team meetings with some individuals and, of course, some meetings as a team, but Pacho was one of the players that came to her and the coaching staff ready to make adjustment, ready to change the course of the season, ready to do whatever it took to get back on track, to find a way to end their season better than how it started.
Said that Izzy's message to her teammates was, "You can follow me or not. That's the direction we're going." Trying to be a leader here in the third. 2 on, 2 out. Ball 1.
It's a good swing right there by Pacho. You see her nodding her head. Was good about that one.
Really playing Pacho to go the other way in the outfield. Maxwell comes in though, and Pacho fights it off.
I'd like to see her just expand the zone more in this situation. Ahead 1 and 2. Try to see if Pacho will chase. Throw a rise ball that's a little bit higher than what normally we're used to seeing her throw it with her low rise ball or her off-speed drop that maybe bounces in or is at the shoelaces.
How's that?
That'll work.
3 innings, 7 more strikeouts for Kelly Maxwell.
Last year, she wasn't the ace. It was Carrie Eberly. This year, she has owned that role as the Oklahoma State Cowgirl #1 pitcher and the strikeout queen.
Where are we going?
That was Saturday after Arizona defeated Mississippi State to win the Starkville Super Regional, and it was not the first pool party the Wildcats have had during this crazy NCAA tournament run. Caitlin Lowe had all the Wildcats over her house for the selection show. Took until the end of the show. Arizona was a 3 seed in the 15 seed Missouri's region, so they were one of the last teams called. And she said right after they were called, Caitlin decided to just jump in the pool. And she said, nobody followed me. So Arizona ended up going to Missouri. They sweep that regional. They decide right after the final game ends to stay on the road. They go to Mississippi State. They stay in Starkville for a week. And after they swept Mississippi State, there was no hesitation into the pool for the Wildcats then.
She started a trend, and then they all did it as a team. But, you know, they've been on the road ever since they left for regionals. They have not gone back to Arizona. She said they didn't plan on doing that. They planned on being able to win regionals and head back home and regroup. But here they are, just the road warriors.
Drea?
Well, one of the team's favorite activities in the hotel room on the road has been putting puzzles together. 500-piece puzzles, 1,000-piece puzzles, and Coach Lowe said it's funny because she felt like in the fall they were a huge puzzle, but the pieces didn't fit right, and now they're starting to fit together.
Yeah, big puzzlers, big Uno players, although we found out that the Uno rules were bent where if somebody got down to one card, somebody else would just pass a draw 4 to the player in front of them, so the Uno game could go on for 90 minutes. I mean, it was infectious being around these Wildcat players. As Naomi takes ball 3. I really love what Caitlin Lowe said to us as well. She said, I scheduled terribly at the beginning of the year because we didn't have much time on the road. And they've grown because they've been on the road for 2 weeks.
Been able to bond together, been able to connect more and just have time together. When you have all those home games at the beginning of the season, of course, everybody wants to come play in Arizona because the weather is great in February and March. You get a lot of teams to come play your way, but it felt like that scheduling kind of hurt this team. But going back to the selection show, when everybody came to her house, she felt like that was a turning point for this team. Whenever their name got called, she said, I felt it from our soul, that they were so amped and so worried that they weren't going to make the tournament. But then when they saw their name, they wanted it just so badly, able to have a different emotion.
There's a leadoff walk for Naomi. Oklahoma State with a base runner here in the 3rd. Women's College World Series continues with the Championship Series. That's Wednesday night, Game 1, 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 Central, live on ESPN. For more information on the 2022 Women's College World Series, go to ncaa.com, the official online home for all 90 NCAA championships. Naomi reaches base for the first time since the regional opener. And she tries to steal, but Alexander bunts it foul.
Looked like a little bunt and run there as Kylie Naomi was put in motion. You'll see Kenny Gajewski call that. Some hit and runs, some run and hits. Cute little girl. Adorable.
Whether she knows it or not, she's an Arizona fan tonight. Sooners and the Longhorns have already won. The Big 12 is 2 for 2 today. There's a butt popped up, and it is foul.
Remember, Hannah Bowen has more upspin, even to her curveball, and of course, when she throws her rise ball, everything just tends to kind of make its way up through the zone. And because of that, she'll create some pop-ups like that, even with a hitter up like Chelsea Alexander, who has good barrel control, good eye-hand coordination.
That slap to third, caught, double play. Pacho picks off Naomi at first.
Just cannot hit the ball much harder than what Chelsea Alexander does right here, right at Izzy Pacho. Just playing catch with her, playing pepper. Kylie Naomi got too far off, a couple of steps off of first base. That play happened so quickly she couldn't get back. Double play turn by Arizona. Their defense steps up again. That's her 4th double play of the NCAA tournament.
Clears the bases for Factor. Pacho has played a good third base here in the postseason. Pretty amazing that she did not make all Pac-12, any of their teams. Caitlin Lowe flabbergasted about that. Into right by Factor and out of the reach of Dimmler.
Well, and that's when you look around at their infield and see all the new faces. On the left side with Izzy Pacho taking Malia Martinez's spot at third base. Sophia Carroll taking Jesse Harper's spot at shortstop. And Allie Skaggs there at second base taking Reina Caranco's spot. So they didn't just lose the offense, they lost that leadership on the infield as well. And of course, back behind the plate, Palacios going from a DP to their everyday catcher for Deja Mulupolo graduating.
Strike to Factor, 1-2. Hannah Bowen looks good to you right now after that little injury scare last inning?
Yeah, it's like that limp comes in spurts, and I think it's why it was so difficult to identify it early in this game, because it happened and then it goes away.
Into right field again. This one playable for Dimmler. A double play means Bowen faces the minimum thanks to Pacho.
Well, and if you're Hannah Bowen, you got to feel good in the circle when you have this defense back behind you. Another double play for the Cats. Their defense looks good.
Close-up.
Welcome back to the NCAA Women's College World Series presented by Capital One. Here with Oklahoma State head coach Kenny Gajewski. And coach, before the bottom of the third, you pulled the team together. What was your message?
I just told them to chill out. I mean, I think we're just a little uptight. We're just playing a little bit defensive, and we just need to stay with our plan and do what we do and take the emergency brake off. It's on, and we just got to get that thing off here, and we'll get going.
And you mentioned chill. Kelly Maxwell, 7 strikeouts so far. What's working for her in the circle?
Well, she's chill. So I mean, that's what we gotta be like her. She's throwing the ball well and locating and doing what she does. Now it's our turn to take care of her.
Coach, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Big week for Kenny Gajewski, who got a contract extension at Oklahoma State through 2027. Unfortunately, he can't keep Kelly Maxwell around through 2027, but another brilliant start for her.
She's looked good. Couple of hits that she's given up, only just that one walk, a hit by pitch mixed in there. I think that Arizona, though, is having good at-bats off of her. This is a pitcher who's going to pile up some strikeouts pretty quickly, and you just have to know that going up against her. Not that you're okay with striking out, but you have to know that, hey, we might strike out, and we have to keep a positive attitude at the plate and stick to our game plan.
Kelly Scoopin shoots one foul. Maxwell around 12 strikeouts per 9 in her career. 12 strikeouts per 7, beg your pardon. Second Oklahoma State history behind only Lauren Bay. 15 double-digit strikeout games this year. And she's got 7 through 3 innings tonight. What's been her best pitch, do you think?
She's going to move the ball around. I'm not seeing her just rely on one pitch.
Let's go up to left. And Alexander.
Strikeout pitch has more so been with her rise ball, so I'll go with that as my answer instead of avoiding the question, but she just looks good tonight. She's throwing a little bit of everything.
Our friends at 643 Charts have been tracking pitches, stats for us this year. They tell us that Maxwell tonight has a 100% chase rate on that rise ball. As every rise has been a strike. So you made a good decision.
Yeah, I didn't see that piece of paper, by the way.
You did not.
I said rise ball.
No, I was holstering that one over here. Just seeing if I could bait you into it. Yeah, there's the numbers. 643 Charts. 15 rise balls. 15 strikes.
Now I'm starting to feel like that was a little bit of a quiz in game, and you knew the answer
you
to the
passed.
test.
Straight A student, Scarborough.
There's another rise ball right there.
Paige Dimmler, a strikeout on a curveball her first time. .619 slugging percentage as a freshman. A lot of extra base hits. Attack the rise ball here. And the prevailing wisdom is rise ball pitchers get strikeouts but give up more home runs. And Arizona hits a lot of home runs. So why is this rise ball so effective?
It's mixed in with her lower stuff like her curveball and her drop too to offset it. And she's given them a different look than what she showed against Clemson, where we saw more of that pitch right there, more down in the zone, more balls in the dirt. She's been able to become a more complete pitcher this season, and because of that, she's thrown more complete games, which was a focus for her coming into this season at the end of last year. He wanted her to be able to finish her games.
Only 9 walks, 25 strikeouts for Dimmler this season. 1 pitch away from either. And she'll go down swinging.
That's more of that changeup or their off-speed drop ball that just falls off the table and gives her a different speed. And when I think of Kelly Maxwell this season, it's this pitch that has differentiated her from other years and has allowed her to step into the role of the ace and throw those complete games and be the type of pitcher, be a pitcher who has not yet given up a run in the NCAA tournament.
I think we even saw a smile there from Kelly Maxwell.
A little one.
She is peppering the strike zone tonight. She's thrown a first pitch strike now to the last 10 hitters she's faced. Right back to her. Another scoreless inning. 25 2/3 innings in the NCAA tournament. No runs allowed. Caitlin Lowe joins Drea when we return.
Welcome back to the NCAA Women's College World Series presented by Capital One, here with Arizona head coach Caitlin Lowe. And coach, your lineup's gone through against Kelly Maxwell. What adjustments do you want to see to get to her a little better?
Well, hunting our pitch, I think we're swinging at a little bit of everything, and with a good pitcher, you can't do that. We're swinging at a lot of her pitches. We want to get to ours.
And your pitcher, Hannah Bowen, what have you seen from her so far in the circle?
Just attacking the zone and letting our defense work. I think she's what she does best.
Coach, thank you.
Thank you.
A lot of trips to the World Series for Caitlin Lowe. She's won it as a player. She's been here as an assistant. She's here as a head coach for the first time. And she has received a terrific performance from Hannah Bowen.
Yeah, it's been cool to watch both of these pitchers do it in different ways. Hannah Bowen, more pitch to contact. Kelly Maxwell getting more strikeouts. Just goes to show there's just not one way to do it. Hannah Bowen just relying on her defense, attacking hitters.
Had a little bit of first inning trouble. Factor hit by a pitch with 1 out. Ellich singled with 2 outs, and then she blew away Pennington on a rise ball. Just a 1 walk since. Part of the order here for Oklahoma State. Midway point. And a fly ball from Carlisle, sending Mayonio dancing back into center. No problem ultimately. 1 pitch, 1 out.
How about the new outfield wall, by the way? Big upgrade with the padding, and we don't have that yellow plastic on the top of the fence anymore. I mean, the stadium just gets better and better and better every year.
It's a sharp blue.
Yeah, it's brand new. It's very sharp.
I think they modeled it after my suit, actually.
Yeah. It's a boy.
Here's Ellich. There's a strike. First inning single for Ellich.
Ball.
Last time we saw Miranda Ellich at the World Series 2018 with the Oregon Ducks. What a long, strange trip it's been. 3 schools, Going to end with one national championship. And that pitch clipped her. Elish will reach first.
Looks like, though, the home plate umpire is going to call her back. She went ahead and just took first base on her own. It wasn't the home plate umpire giving her the hit by pitch call.
Chris Neighbors is going to bring Elish back. And we'll see if she leaned into this.
Looks like it just barely grazed it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because we couldn't possibly have a closer hit by pitch than scooping in the second. Once again, we'll go to a challenge with a hit by pitch determined by a magnitude of grains of sand. I feel the same way I did about the scooping one, which is I think it hit her, but
Yeah.
Is it conclusive? I don't know. So this is the first challenge used by Oklahoma State. New with the World Series this year, 2 challenges per team. Even if you get both 2, you don't get another, but in the 6th inning, umpires can initiate reviews.
Well, I think it goes to show you in a scoreless game right now how important that every base runner is to go to review on this potential hit by pitch call. Not a lot going for their offense. Every base runner matters, especially with the middle of the order up right now for Oklahoma State.
Here's another look.
Man, it is so close. She was very sure, and so was Scoopin, though.
I'm telling you, if this doesn't get overturned, Miranda's going to come out with a Velcro strap for her next at-bat.
Ruling on the field, not hit by pitch is upheld.
All right.
Okie doke. So ball 2. Oklahoma State and Arizona each have 1 challenge remaining.
It's a good backdoor curveball that Hannah Bowen will throw to these left-handed hitters on the outside corner, and it does have that little bit of rise to it as well. Late break, sharp pitch.
Two strikeouts for Bowen tonight. Ellis smacks this one well, struck left field, off the glove of Paris Chica. Elish into second base, her second hit.
Probably in hindsight, Elish didn't really want that hit by pitch. I think she'd probably prefer a double. Able to make in-at-bat adjustments against Hannah Bowen. She swung and missed at this pitch right here. So Hannah Bowen and Palacios decide to go right back to that pitch in the adjustment by Elish. I mean, that pitch is in an identical spot. She swings and misses underneath it and then makes an adjustment to barrel it up to the wall and get herself in a scoring position.
The first trip to the World Series in 4 years, and it just feels like Miranda's been here the whole time. She'll come out for a pinch runner, Bree Evans. If you are new to softball this year, a reminder, you can be taken out of the game once and then re-enter, which Elish will certainly do her next at-bat. But for now, it is Evans with her great speed to represent the potential first run. And there's a strike to Pennington, who struck out on a rise ball her first time.
It's a tough matchup with a little bit of upspin by Bowen because of the fact that Sydney Pennington told us that her swing in her career has been more uphill to lift the ball. And halfway through the season, she talked with their volunteer coach, Vanessa Shippey, and Shippey said, why don't you just try to hit the top of the ball? Usually she has pop-outs when she gets out.
That is drilled into the gap for Pennington to puncture the shutout. Evans races home. Pennington slides safe. A shutout severing double from Sydney Pennington in the 266th start of her career. She puts Oklahoma State on the board at the World Series.
Going back to the changes, the slight tweaks in her focus of her swing, trying to work more above the ball and hit the top of the ball. She said it helped her flatten out her swing more. Let that outside pitch travel. It was a curveball. She just stays on it to right center field to plate the first run of this game and finally breaks open the tie.
Arizona is using its second challenge here on the play at second. So the Wildcats have already won a challenge. They will use their second here in the hopes that Pennington was tagged out. Maybe she was. It's the shortstop, Sophia Carroll.
Yeah, I think that tag beat her foot. Again, these outfielders for Arizona have just stepped up their defense. Being able to make this out right here is critical in this game if this call is going to get overturned. Good job by Carroll to hold on to the ball too in her glove as that foot was sliding right into her glove.
That's the look right there.
Whew. This is a huge call in this game right now.
You think out?
I think out.
Yep. There are 3 umpires, by the way, in the review room, which is up here. I was talking to our umpiring friends before the game. They've all got to be in agreement. If it's 2 for 3 one way, call doesn't get overturned. If it's 3 for 3, they will go with the unanimous call in the room. It's Elish, who didn't score the go-ahead run, but doubled to put on Evans. Okay. So Elish, her position provides the go-ahead run, and Pennington is thrown out. 9-6. Dimmler with the assist, and Carroll with the tag.
She's got to feel good about this throw from right field. Picked up the ball, just chucked it to second base. A perfect throw to Carroll to get Pennington. That was from the wall on a line. Dimmler to Carroll for the out, with a big second out in this inning with OSU rallying.
Not a bad time for the first outfield assist of Paige Dimmler's career. So the base is vacant, but Oklahoma State in front. And Petty pops one up on the infield. This is a little easier for Carroll. Elish and Pennington, the 2 super seniors with the big hits. OK State in the lead.
There are so many women that I got to witness that have changed the world of softball. Whether they know it or not, you are pushing me to carry on the legacy that you left.
50/50 campaign is a company-wide initiative commemorating the 50th anniversary of the passing of Title IX. During the month of June, stories will be told in multiple formats that document the civil rights journey of women in sports. Patty Gasso, the 5th winningest coach in Division I history, trying to send Oklahoma to a 5th national title in the last decade. Every year at the World Series, because you had 2020 where there was no World Series. And Oklahoma today fell behind 1-0 in the 3rd. And then they Oklahoma'd Northwestern the rest of the way. 13 runs in 2 innings and a 13-2 run rule win. They will play Texas 3 Eastern, 2 Central Saturday on ABC. And the winner of this game, 7 Eastern, 6 Central, ESPN against the Florida Gators. This is Sophia Carroll, number 8 hitter. 1-1 from Kelly Maxwell. Searching for her first hit in the tournament, Carroll. And the Big 12 only got 3 teams into this tournament. We've seen Texas and Oklahoma roll today. Oklahoma State can make the winner's bracket 75% Big 12.
Well, you think about the pitching in the Big 12, Kevin. To me, that's what it comes down to. With Kelly Maxwell pitching the way that she's pitched this year, and of course Morgan Day back behind her, the transfer from Illinois State. And then the 3-headed monster that Oklahoma has had going on with Nicole May, Hope Troutwine, and Jordy Ball all season long. And Haley Dolcini, I mean, just continue to talk about her, but another transfer pitcher into the Big 12 that has made a difference for the Big 12.
These are not necessarily all from notable programs as well. Good mid-major programs. Obviously, Fresno State's had a lot of great softball success. That's where Haley Dolcini comes from, but still a step up in competition. Hope Troutwine was at North Texas, leading the country in ERA into today. Morgan Day at Illinois State. And 3-2, Carroll just got a piece.
You really think about, though, the impact pitchers that have transferred into the Big 12, and you could really talk a lot about Oklahoma State specifically with that one, but the transfers like Carrie Eberly coming to Oklahoma State, Samantha Shao, Hope Troutwine, G. Juarez coming in from Arizona State to Oklahoma, winning a national championship. And then even Miranda Elish coming from Oregon to play at Texas. I mean, the transfers, it just seems to happen a lot in the Big 12, particularly to the 3 teams that are here.
Oklahoma State has utilized the transfer portal, a huge impact too. Allison Febri, All-American last year, Sam Shao. Players here who were around when Sam was, credit her as being the one that turned the program around. That is smacked up the middle. First hit of the tournament for Sophia Carroll. Had the great tag on Pennington in the 4th inning and a leadoff hit in the 5th.
Lauren Lappin, the third base coach for Arizona, the first swing of the at-bat by Sophia Carroll, she was so proud of her because Sophia Carroll was on that first pitch. You could tell that she was seeing the ball better in this at-bat and hit that pitch just right back up the middle, right by Kelly Maxwell. And Sophia Carroll showing a little energy, just loving the fact that she got her first hit of the NCAA tournament.
Charlize Palacios, the first to greet her. An 8-pitch at bat, and Amber Tovin, who's a very good pinch runner, will check in.
There's Lauren Lappin there. So much energy in that coach's box, and I don't know, there's just something about that first swing by Carroll. Something just seemed to click.
Paris Chica trying to bunt. That's strike 1. Arizona's batting average leader, 377. Mainly singles. She does have 8 sacrifice bunts. Can't lay one down here, and she's in the hole.
Important for her right here to find a way to put the ball in play and on the ground. Even with 2 strikes, gotta find a way to do it. Every 60 feet, so important, and you have to have productive outs.
If you're in Maxwell's shoes and you have a hitter you know is going to try to do that, get a productive out on the ground, what pitch do you throw?
You see her throw that rise ball and expand her zone with that pitch right at the letters, at the shoulders, or even if you're going for the strikeout, like she is a strikeout pitcher, throw that off-speed drop ball in the dirt.
Up and in and grounded to first. Busby makes the play. Maxwell went up, got the out. Perez Chica moves the pinch runner Tobin to second.
Good productive out by Perez Chica. But it's been this rise ball by Kelly Maxwell the first 2 times through the order against Arizona that has been working. So much movement. You can tell she doesn't expand the zone all that much, but just enough to get these hitters to swing and miss underneath that rise ball. Tons of swing and misses on that pitch.
8 strikeouts for Maxwell. 2 more and she'll have her 16th double-digit strikeout game of the year. Ball 1 to Mayonio. That is a rarity in this game. A first pitch ball. First pitch ball in the last 14 batters.
I like this matchup too. We've talked a lot about Arizona's defense, but Oklahoma State's defense has stepped up too. When Kelly Maxwell is not getting those double-digit strikeouts, they've still found a way to make plays behind her. Only 1 error committed by OSU's defense in the NCAA tournament.
Strike 2 in the dirt.
That's why that pitch is so effective against a hitter like Mayonio, Perez Chica, when they're running through the box, throwing that pitch in the dirt. Oftentimes you can get a slapper to swing and miss that pitch.
That's a strikeout in the dirt. Just kept on pounding it. That's number 9 for Kelly. 1 out away from completing 5.
First time that she's gotten Mayonio to strike out, chase that drop ball throughout that at bat. Another strikeout with a runner in scoring position for Maxwell.
Palacios, strike 1. Runners on base today. Arizona is 0 for 8. Had the leadoff runner on 3 times. If not, advanced a runner to third. Palacios hammers one to left. Back and gone. A laser beam. Charlize Palacios powers Arizona into the lead.
Charlize Palacios has so much power. She gets a hanging off-speed drop ball. It doesn't get down at all. It stays flat, and Palacios recognizes that it's a mistake and just barrels it up. That was a laser line drive to give Arizona the lead. Palacios, loved chatting with her yesterday, a leader for this team in so many ways.
Those are the first runs allowed in the NCAA tournament by Kelly Maxwell. It was a 26 1/3 scoreless inning streak before that. And Palacios has her 3rd home run of the tournament. My goodness.
And Kelly Maxwell had not given up a home run in 552 pitches. The last home run that she gave up was to Jocelyn Allo
That is the first dent in that particular box. Through regionals, through the Super Regional, and here at the World Series.
Ball.
Now 5 out of 6 games in the tournament where Palacios has driven in a run. She's been on base 28 of her last 29 games. The only one where she wasn't on base was game 1 at Mississippi State, where she had the tying sacrifice fly in the 7th. It's a 3-0 swing from Skaggs, and the tradition here in Oklahoma City, parents, family get the home run ball, and the Palacios clan is losing their minds, appropriately speaking.
Well, and they've traveled everywhere with the team to watch Charlize play. Went to Columbia, Starkville.
Skaggs on base for the 3rd time, a single and 2 walks.
I got to give Sophia Carroll the assist in this inning, though. Finding a way to lead off the inning with a single, to get on base. I mean, the at-bat that she put together, there was just something different about it. Her first hit of the NCAA tournament, she got on, and then Palacios able to drive in 2.
Ball.
And there is Morgan Day. John Barkfeld's going to make his way to the circle.
Remember at the beginning of the show when we asked for a close game? Was that all we needed to do all day was just say, hey, we really want a close game right now?
Sometimes all you need to do is ask, yeah. We've had 5-run difference today. We've had an 11-run difference. We've had a 6-run difference. Here's the bracket. Let's check my math. 5, 11, 6, yeah. So, UCLA Northwestern elimination game tomorrow. New format at the World Series. You lose game 1, you could be 2 and Q tomorrow. And then Oregon State against the losing team here. Florida awaits the winner. And 1-0 on the left arm of Kelly Maxwell this year has felt like about 21-0. But Charlize Palacios, after the leadoff single from Sophia Carroll, has put Arizona into the lead. Now Izzy Pacho.
When you mentioned the runners on for Arizona, and they were 0 for 8 before that Palacios home run against Clemson in the Super Regional. Clemson Taters were 1 for 21 with runners on against Kelly Maxwell.
She has been seemingly inevitable. But Arizona's postseason run has been anything but. It seemed inevitable that they would bow out after an 0-8 start to Pac-12 play after being sent on the road as a regional 3 seed. They haven't returned home and they haven't lost. There's a strikeout for Maxwell, her 10th. But the damage is done. Charlize Palacios, her 20th home run of the season. None bigger than this. Playing for her new head coach, Caitlin Lowe. In front of her old head coach, Mike Candrea. He'll be with us next at OKC. Second winningest coach, Division I history. 8 national championships. Took Arizona to the World Series time and again. It's Mike Candrea now with Andrea.
Coach Candrea, thanks so much for chatting with me. We have to start with the Charlize Palacios home run. It got you up off your feet. What did you like about that at bat?
Well, she's made some really good adjustments, you know, and you kind of felt like it was time for her to run into one. Didn't know it was going to be a home run, but that's Charlize, man. She's a very good hitter with a lot of power, quick hands, and got a good pitch and put a good swing on it.
All right, you mentioned adjustments. This is Caitlin Lowe's first season as a head coach. What sort of evolution and growth have you seen from her this year?
Well, you know, I think this team has kind of taken on Caitlin's persona. You know, as a player, she was a very calm, very prepared, very confident, very positive player. And this team, over the last couple of weeks, I've started to see that. I mean, you start off 0-8 in the conference, and for her to do what they've done to feed this team the confidence to play at a high level right now, I'm just really proud of her.
And did you give Coach Lowe any particular advice coming into her first World Series?
No, I think, you know, the biggest thing is don't make big changes, number one, but be yourself. You know, she's been here a million times. Caitlin Lowe has been a rock star no matter where she's been, so she loves this arena, and I just love how she's prepared this team.
A lot of Arizona greats here. It's something that you built, Coach. Thank you.
Yep. Yeah, it's great. I mean, Jenny's over here just working her butt off with autographs, but it's fun. I mean, it's a family, and, you know, the one thing that I love about this program is the tradition that we have, and we have a lot of the traditions sitting around us right now, so it's fun.
A lot of it came from you, Coach. Thanks.
Thank you.
That is so cool. It's so great to have Mike Candrea back here at the same field where 1 year ago his team lost to Florida State in walk-off fashion. He retired shortly after. He hasn't gone quietly into that good night. He's stuck around the athletic department as an advisor, and it was just wonderful to hear Caitlin Lowe talk about the influences that she didn't even realize he was passing on to her as an assistant coach.
I remember it was around this time last year that they lost that game, and we just an emotional time seeing him in the dugout take down the lineup card, seeing Taryn Moet and also Caitlin Lowe a little emotional in the dugout as he walked out for the first time, or for the last time.
And his influence obviously is all over this team still. Hannah Bowen in the circle, chief among those players, recruited by Mike Candrea. First 4 years with Arizona under Mike Candrea. Said I went to his office and he said, I'm going to give you the Jenny Finch scholarship. That's the full ride. He said, you're the same size as Taryn Moet. You throw the same pitches, same everything. You're going to fit right in. There is Arizona royalty, Jenny Finch. Every time we look down in the Jenny Mike section, there's a crowd, especially during the breaks. There's a crowd of dozens hoping for a picture, for an autograph, for something. Wow.
And just missed that pitch, just a little bit off the plate. Hannah Bowen getting to pitch with the lead for the first time in this game. Backdoor curveball, trying to bend it back across the outside corner. Did look like a little bit off the pitcher's pitch, but she's always going to want that call to see what she can get off the plate.
3-2 for Tuck. That hit her. Taylor Tuck works her way on. And Oklahoma State, after giving the lead up, puts the tying run on first. We'll see if Kenny Gajewski goes for a pinch runner here.
I see it time and time again in the postseason, just being able to answer back, respond, punch back. Oklahoma State gave the first punch in the bottom of the fourth inning, and then Arizona turned right around and put two on the board to grab that lead back.
Here's Taryn. Just received word that tonight's evening session is officially a sellout. 12,320. here in Hall of Fame Stadium.
It's a little late for some people as we head toward 11 p.m. I don't know why anybody would want to leave this game early up. Maybe just not to sit in traffic, but this has been the best game of the night. How are people leaving early?
And this may be the only quadruple header night of the year. You know, previous years it was Thursday and Saturday. We'll see about Monday. Could be 2 if necessary games, but deep into the night, we got the makings of a classic on our hands.
Ball.
Arizona in the lead, courtesy of Charlize Palacios' 2-run homer. Oklahoma State's run came in the 4th. Miranda Ellis doubled. Bree Evans pinch ran, and Sydney Pennington singled her in. This is Kylie Naomi. First team all Big 12 pick a season ago. A hitter that just hasn't found her rhythm at the plate this year. Leadoff hitter for much of the season, moved to the 9th spot in the last couple of weeks.
Ball.
Remember, Kylie Naomi was at one point earlier this season and for a while the leadoff hitter for Oklahoma State. So even though she's hitting in the 9th spot, not having quite the year that they thought that Kylie Naomi would have, she still serves as a secondary leadoff hitter in that 9th spot because she's been there before in that leadoff spot. Chelsea Alexander on deck.
2-2.
This could be a big at bat right here. Full count, a chance to get 2 runners on base with the top of the lineup coming up.
What would you look for from Bowen if you were in the box?
Curveball. Something down, not being able to locate that rise ball through the zone. It's going to be a curveball. We'll be able to react to it. She can throw it back to her and on the outside corner too.
Wow, she went well up and away. Continues to not locate that rise ball.
And I think that was actually supposed to be a backdoor curveball. It just got away from her, not having as good a command on that pitch. And you're going to see Palacios go out and talk to her. This battery works really well together. Palacios can see certain things in Hannah Bowen's eyes and in her routine and in her presence. She knows when to go out and give her a quick word.
You asked Palacios yesterday, how do you know when Hannah's rhythm is off? And she said sometimes she'll take the sign like it's hesitant. And she's been trying to dig that out of her, but the hesitancy typically goes away in the postseason for Hannah. Now Kenny Gajewski is going to call for a pinch runner with Tuck at second. And Wally makes the switch. Time for tonight's bracket update, brought to you by Enterprise. We've been waiting on a close one. Texas and Florida are both within run rule range. Oklahoma did run rule Northwestern. Elimination Friday for the first time. Bruins and Cats, Beavers and TBD. Oklahoma, Texas, ABC, and then Florida against this game's winner on Saturday night. Either be Kenny Gajewski against his old boss, Tim Walton, the former Florida assistant, or it'll be the 2-time national champs, the 8-time national champs. That's a strike to Chelsea Alexander.
Like a good pitch to hit right there. That pitch ended up right down the middle. Chelsea Alexander could have done some damage with that pitch. See what tool she's going to pull out of her toolbox here. A lefty that has a few different looks at the plate. It's a triple threat.
Jules Callahan is the pinch runner at second. And there's another strike to Alexander.
Just not going to get one much better to hit than that first pitch that came at her. And now Hannah Bowen quickly getting ahead after that hit by pitch, a walk. Now she finds herself 0-2.
Ball.
You'll see Hannah Bowen go through her routine. We talked to her a lot about breathing, coming to the back of the circle, looking down, taking a deep breath, telling herself, let's go. Has to work at a slow pace. Everything has to be calm for her.
Alexander loops one to Skupin. That's the second out.
Man, and that first pitch from Bowen, that was just a miss down the middle of the plate. And look, that's a difference in the game right now, is that Charlize Palacios took advantage of one of the few mistakes that Kelly Maxwell has made in this game and hit a home run. She punished that mistake. You hate to just narrow it down to one pitch, one at bat, but you're not going to get too many mistakes at this level at the World Series. You have to take advantage of them.
Well, when Kenny Gajewski tells us about playing with the emergency break off, that's the emergency break on right there.
True.
Here's Factor.
Ball.
And there's not much more that you could hope for if you're Oklahoma State. And Cheyenne Factor, who's had so many clutch at-bats in her Cowgirl career. 1 year ago, on this opening Thursday, hit a 2-run home run and a 1-run win over Georgia.
Ball.
That one's not close, and Palacios pumps to first, looks back Callahan at second.
I think a prime example, Kevin, is her hitting 176 in the NCAA tournament, but 6 RBIs. When she gets a hit, she makes the most of them. Leads a team in the NCAA tournament with RBIs, but only hitting in the 100s.
Tied for second this season in RBIs. Got a real rip there.
Like the communication that I see all throughout the infield for Arizona right now with Sophia Carroll, Skaggs, talking to the outfielders about a ball hit in the gap. Everybody locked in.
Ball.
That's high to Factor. One more of those would load the bases for Carlisle.
Her stuff is the best when it has that little bit of uptick to it. That curveball that she can not only throw that pitch away, but get it to move slightly up too.
Callahan at second, the tying run. Naomi behind her at first. And we'll do it again on 3-2.
To think that the game just comes down to this, but it really does start to feel like the game comes down to Factor at the plate, runner in scoring position, down by 1 run.
Two players that have dedicated every ounce of their college careers to their universities. Bowen and Factor. And Factor wins the battle. One heck of a tough take to load the bases, to the dismay of the folks from Tucson.
Bowen trying to get this backdoor curveball. It's actually hard to see the plate. I wish that the umpire would dust off the plate a little bit. And actually, Palacios just did with her own hand. Is right when I was saying that, but wow. Just didn't break enough back over the corner.
They are loaded up for Carwile. A strike to starter.
Palacios trying to help out her pitcher, trying to help out the umpire by dusting off the plate. Like, okay, maybe just can't see the corners enough. Gets that last call after she dusted off the plate with that backdoor curve.
Carwile 0 for 2. 0-2. Only 11 at-bats a season ago. Her World Series debut. The kid from Purcell, Oklahoma.
Good job of spoiling that pitch. Whew, just so tight.
It's easy for me to say everybody exhale, but if you're on one side or the other in this one, and even if you're not, it may be worth just to make sure you're still breathing. Up the ladder again, and Carwile stays alive. On the 30th pitch thrown by Hannah Bowen in the inning.
Would try to go back to that backdoor curveball right at the knees, go to the same pitch that she got called in the first pitch of this at bat for a strike.
That's in the air to left field. Perez Chica is there, and Bowen gets out of it. A bear hug from Palacios. They're going crazy over the Arizona dugout. Bowen walks 3, but allows nothing. A happy old coach, a happy new catcher. Arizona is 6 outs away. Charlize Palacios has the big blow in this game. 2-run, 2-out home run of the 5th. Hannah Bowen's been superb. Kelly Maxwell, great once again, but scored upon for the first time in the tournament. That's your game track presented by Geico. We finally get a close one here in Oklahoma City. 3 comfortable wins today for Texas, Oklahoma, and Florida. This has been a rather uncomfortable game from pitch 1 for the unseeded Arizona Wildcats and the 7th seed, the Oklahoma State Cowgirls. Oklahoma State, the 7th seed, but the 3rd highest seeded team here at the World Series. That hit Skupin. 2nd time Maxwell has hit Carly Skupin tonight. And there's a change coming. That's Lauren Lappin down from 3rd. Pinch runner for Skupin. Julia Koutsianopoulos will pinch run.
Pinch runner for Arizona, number 55, Julia
You know, the Scripps National Spelling Bee was today. Koutsianopoulos would be a tough one for the finals.
Stump a lot of people.
Good ball.
Strike one to Dimler.
Now batting for the Wildcats, right fielder number 22, Paige Dimler.
Just hard to fathom that Arizona is here given their start to Pac-12 play. It shouldn't be hard to fathom Arizona being here because it seems like they're here every year. 25 World Series appearances, second only to UCLA, but this team under Caitlin Lowe, first-year head coach, 0-8 start to Pac-12 play, 5 shutouts in their first 6 Pac-12 games, only won 2 of 8 series in the Pac-12. That's into right by Dimler. Routine for Carlisle.
Yeah, Caitlin Lowe said at one point everything was just so negative and heavy for this team, and especially just hearing things from even their loyal fans. Social media just hit rock bottom at one point.
Told us that she had more one-on-one meetings after that 0-8 start than the rest of her year. And it was so meaningful for her to see the players that walked into her office and said, how are we going to change this? And we asked her who walked in, and she said they didn't stop walking, and it was almost all of them.
I do want to give credit to the three of Ali Skaggs, Pacho, and Palacios. She had told them this common message: you don't need to get all 18 to change direction right away. You just need to chip away a little bit at a time, one person after another, to all get on the same page with that core group. And they did.
2 strikes here on the pinch hitter, Bailey Thompson. And they started the season, Arizona, winning their first 2 games, a combined 37-1. It was against Southern Utah, not a powerhouse, but still 37-1. Hey, Arizona's good. And then they lost the next game 11-0 to Alabama. Up and down season has led them here as Maxwell picks up her 11th strikeout.
Now batting shortstop, double zero, Sophia Carroll.
Well, certainly Charlize Palacios has the biggest hit of the game. Sophia Carroll may have the second. 8-pitch at-bat, leading off the 5th. A leadoff single was her first hit of the tournament.
Can we go with like a 1A and 1B type thing? Because it's hard to not look at that inning and think of the at-bat that Carroll put together, hit a line drive right past Kelly Maxwell, hit it on a line right back at her, squared it up. Out of the 8-hole too. Caused some noise.
In the right field here, another routine play for Carlisle. Another scoreless inning for Maxwell. Middle of the order coming up. All 3 of the Oklahoma State hits due up against Bowen.
Softball fans the opportunity to buy and sell official NCAA Women's College World Series tickets in a convenient, safe, and guaranteed environment. Buyers will be assured that the tickets are authentic and guaranteed, even if the session is sold out. And sellers will have a place to safely and securely sell their tickets. Visit Now playing right field for Arizona. Number 2, Tina Martinez. And playing first base, number 55,
Welcome back to the NCAA Women's College World Series, presented by Capital One. Oklahoma State trails by 1, in large part because of a play where they scored their 1 run, Amanda.
Yeah, they hit back-to-back doubles. Elish hit 1, then Pennington hit another and scored her. But in that same double, Dimmler made the most perfect throw to Sophia Carroll, who made the most perfect tag, went straight down to the back to get the foot of Pennington. And it was that inning that just took the wind out of Oklahoma State because of that defensive play. That throw from the wall to second base was about as good as it can get. And then Sophia Carroll just being able to get her out at second base. I looked back to that play thinking that could potentially change this game. And it was right after that, the next top of the inning, that Arizona put 2 on the board.
She's had 2 game-changing moments tonight, Carroll. Play which was originally called safe, overturned when Arizona used its second and final challenge of the game. They won both challenges. And it's a 2-1 game, but it's a heck of a presence in the batter's box for Hannah Bowen. She's allowed 3 hits tonight, 2 of them right here. Miranda Elish, who takes a strike.
You just, when you really look at that defensive play, Kevin, you just can't play it more perfectly than what Dimmler did off the wall. Team that comes to mind thinking about how they play balls off the wall so well in the outfield is Oklahoma. We've seen them do that so many times on this field.
Well, Dimmler, who had that outfield assist, is out of the game right now. The Wildcats bring in their better defensive outfielder, Hannah Peanut Martinez. And Koutsianopoulos, who came in as a pinch runner, stays in the game at first. Caitlin Lowe going with her best defensive lineup, trying to protect a 1-run lead. 6 outs to go.
Hannah Bowen starting to go to that changeup a little bit more here late in the game. Good take by Elish to take that pitch, but that changeup with the bases loaded, she threw it to Carwile to get her to fly out to left field. Doesn't throw it a ton, but just enough.
Elish 7 for 15 in the tournament, 3 walks. Takes ball 2. Not pitching because of an arm injury, but still contributing. Calls herself this team's biggest cheerleader. And right now, she may be their most powerful force at the plate.
And for Hannah Bowen, you still have to be careful knowing it's a 1-run game. You have a home run hitter up at the plate like Miranda Elish. And because she lives more up in the zone, Hannah Bowen does, she can't give up the long ball. 26 home runs that Hannah Bowen has given up this season.
From 0-2 to 3-2. Elish lashes it out of play. Tonight on SportsCenter with Scott Van Pelt, we go inside Game 1 of the NBA Finals and Game 2 of the Western Conference Finals, plus Aaron Judge ruling Shohei Ohtani and the Mets-Dodgers around the diamond. Certainly lots of Orioles highlights too. SportsCenter with SVP after our game right here on ESPN. Tough loss for the O's tonight, extra innings.
Oh, man.
Line out for Adley Rutschman. Tough day for Oregon State. That is ball 4 to Elish. Another tight take. Leadoff runner on for Oklahoma State.
Another backdoor curveball. She throws it off the plate. Doesn't look to me like it ever gets back on the outside corner. Good take by Elish. Bowen's trying to figure out where to throw it on that outside corner, but with that backdoor curveball, sometimes you come across umpires who call it, sometimes you come across some who don't.
Now Pennington, she has seen a steady diet of rise balls tonight. Struck out on one in the first and drilled that go-ahead single into right field in the fourth. Last 4 base runners have been walks for Oklahoma State. 5 walks on the night for Bowen.
I have a feeling they're going to continue to throw her inside and on her hands after she hit that laser to right center field off the wall, and that's that play that Dimmler made that throw to Sophia Carroll at second.
Pennington has seen 10 pitches tonight. All 10 have been strikes. I think she swung at just about every one.
Potentially go to that off-speed pitch here. And double play opportunity, too, for Arizona's innings.
Has swung at everyone. All 10, and this one into right field, a fair ball. It is booted by Martinez. Ellis will go to third. Pennington will go to second. Major trouble for Arizona, and a major rally for Oklahoma State.
I don't know why they went back to the outside corner with the curveball. They threw her in on her hands the entire at bat. That's the same pitch that she drove to the right center field gap. Went back to that curve, and Pennington shortens up, drives it to that right side where Martinez took over. A little bit of a bobble there, but Ellis would have been able to go first to third anyway. Pennington, though, was able to get to second base with that bobble. 2 runners in scoring position for OSU, who you were seeing major emotion from Ellis and Pennington right here in this moment.
And that's an error against Martinez, who just came into the game this inning as a defensive replacement. Single E9. Second and third, nobody out for Carly Petty.
It's just their second error of the NCAA tournament, coming at the most critical time in the World Series.
5 innings of defensive brilliance tonight. And 1 bobble, which could be as significant as anything else. Now the junior Petty takes ball 1.
One thing to point out, too, with the outfielders right now for both Arizona and Oklahoma State when they go back out on the field is that the outfield grass has moisture on it from the humidity here late at night. And thinking maybe that hard hit ball to right field kind of skipped up on Martinez. And you have to think about now when they pick up the ball, it's going to be wet out of their hands.
Carly Petty's had a great tournament. Back in the starting lineup after a couple of weeks where she did not play. 6 for 17, 3 extra base hits and a walk. Fouls this one back, and Bowen has the advantage.
Charlize Palacios' sister, Sashel.
May not be a bigger Wildcat fan in the world right now, which is amusing when you consider she played at Arizona State. Good job by a little assist right there. Pitch number 99 on the night is driven into center field, way back and gone. Carly Petty comes through. Dead center field into a mob at home plate with an Oklahoma State lead on her broad shoulders.
Carly Petty gets this backdoor curveball at the knees. Not an awful pitch by any means. It just didn't break. And Carly Petty looked like she was expecting that pitch, hunting that pitch on the outside corner that Hannah Bowen has thrown to these left-handed hitters time and time again. It just takes one swing, one pitch, one person to be so locked in and focused to be able to change the game. What an inning for OSU.
3 home runs in her first 44 games of the season. Home runs now in her last 2. And Arizona will go to the bullpen with Oklahoma State having reclaimed the lead here in the 6th. Devin Netz will come in. Another utterly gutsy night for Hannah Bowen. She will depart. Petty makes sure of that.
CAA Women's College World Series is presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Parents get a home run ball at the World Series. That's the tradition. It feels a little bit better when that home run ball comes to the 6th inning. There's Carly Petty's mom. And there's Carly Petty for a curtain call. Maybe a wave to the family as well. We talked to Carly yesterday. This is a kid who played some outfield in the fall, some catcher, was trying to find her spot on the field. And now because of her home run, they're doing push-ups or pull-ups in the dugout. It said she just feels more comfortable at second base, and finally told Genny Gajewski she felt good about herself at second base, and now, after a long time having not started at second, she feels a lot more relaxed.
Clearly showing up in her offense and the way that she is just right into that 6th spot, the middle of the order for Oklahoma State here late in the season.
Devin Netz, the new pitcher, after a ground out for Busby with a strike to Tuck. Well, Arizona has gone to the bullpen for the first time in the postseason. 3 complete games for Bowen, 2 complete games for Netz. Another pitcher who really struggled in conference play and has really thrived in the postseason. That's a strikeout of Tuck.
Job of getting 2 quick outs.
You just look at Petty and you look at some of the players in this Oklahoma State lineup. Petty and Busby and Naomi, who are 6, 7, and 9. And were so good last year and such important parts of this team. And in certain cases, it's been playing time, and in certain cases, it's been consistency. But that production has not been the same this year. And Kenny Gajewski has known if we can get it, if somebody out of that group can step up, they become that deep lineup. They become that national title contender. Up the middle and through. Naomi with a 2-strike hit. And she's been on base all 3 times tonight.
Well, the big difference, too, in this inning is that they got their leadoff hitter on. And all the other innings in this game, they've been in out, but Miranda Elish came up, took her walk. Remember that close pitch that started this rally for Oklahoma State that she took to draw the walk?
And you're kicking yourself if you're Arizona over that pitch. And then, as you said in the moment, that 0-2 to Pennington. There goes Naomi. And she will steal second. She will go for third. Nobody's there. Stolen base for Kylie Naomi, and she just keeps on running all the way to third.
I don't really know what happened with this pitch out of the hand of Devin Netz, but it's well behind Palacios, and she picks up the fact that nobody is covering third base and just keeps on running. One of the fastest players on this team goes first to third on that wild pitch.
Steal for Naomi is her 14th of the year, and then the wild pitch after that.
It actually looks like this pitch is going to hit off of her knee right there. I have actually done that before. You don't see it all too often. I haven't done it in a game. I've done it at practice, and it hurts so bad, and also hurts the fact that you do it in a game with a runner on base and she goes from first to third.
Now the corners are in case Alexander tries to bunt for a base hit. He'll take a strike. In the 7th, it'll be Perez, Chica, Mayoño, Palacios. Anybody gets on Skaggs. 9-1-2 for Arizona.
And the pitch that you'll do that on, hit your knee, is a screwball, a pitch that Devin Netz likes to throw, but I would throw that pitch as well. And again, it does not happen all that often, but it's likely to happen on that pitch if it does.
Up the middle, right back to Netz. Good play by Netz. Good job out of the bullpen to keep the lead at 2.
There are moments in the postseason that just awaken a sleeping giant. For Oklahoma State, they were quiet before this petty 3-run bomb.
A warning performance. Easy pick tonight with 2 on, nobody out. Great catch by a fan as well. Carly Petty, a go-ahead 3-run home run. A curtain call to boot. And her Oklahoma State Cowgirls are 3 outs away from advancing to the winner's bracket with Florida on Saturday. Their most runs scored since 1998 in a World Series game at 4. 1998, the last time these teams met in the World Series, by the way. And how is that for a coincidence? Kelly Maxwell has the lead again. 9-1-2 against her. Perez Chica takes ball 1.
Always loved grabbing the lead in the bottom of the 6th inning, and you just knew you were 3 outs away from winning a ball game. My favorite things to do as a player was make that inning count. I feel like you grab control of the game late.
Perez Chica 1 for 2. Mayoño 0 for 3 behind her, and then the big bat of Palacios waiting in the wings. And the 2-run home run, which has been Arizona's only offense tonight. Up the middle and through, off the bag as well. Perez Chica is on. Arizona will bring the tying run to the plate.
Unique way to see the ball by Perez Chica. Showed bunt, pulled back, moved her feet through the box, almost like a Happy Gilmore type swing. It wasn't a slap, but unique footwork for her to be able to get that hit, square it up right back up the middle.
Happy Gilmore.
You know what I mean.
11. No, I know exactly what you mean. I love it at 11:30 here in Oklahoma City. We're pulling out the Happy Gilmore references. Price was not wrong for Perez Chica there. Here's Mayonio, and unless there is a double play or some kind of a base running out, Palacios will bat with a chance to tie or give Arizona the lead.
Yeah, if you think that this game is over because of that Petty home run, you are mistaken. 3 outs left to play with for Arizona.
Got a strike on Mayonio. Maxwell's been wonderful yet again. The first runs she's allowed 5 games in the NCAA tournament. But another double-digit strikeout game, 11 more for her. 290 on the year. Can she see it through?
Morgan Day running down to the bullpen right now just to stay loose here late in the game.
Pitch number 115. Strike 2.
It's a pitch that Mayonio has continued to chase. Look for Maxwell to go back to that pitch again.
The 4th best pitcher in the country. Strikeouts per 7 innings. 11 in 6 innings tonight. Make it a dozen. 1 out. And now, Maxwell v. Palacios, round 4 after this happened in round 3.
She got an off-speed pitch that just stayed up and flat and made Kelly Maxwell pay for it. That ball was hit so hard off the bat of Palacios.
Better start for Maxwell here.
This is a hitter who really struggled at the beginning of the season, the first half of the season. She said she would FaceTime her sister, Sachelle, twice a day. Calls her her best coach and her best friend. Would give her resiliency advice.
Up the ladder for strike 2. Only one other 2-home run game this season. That was February the 18th against UC Santa Barbara. She's in a deep hole here. And she'll take a ball. On the ground to third. Foul ball.
And they called it a foul ball, so that cannot be reviewed. If it was called fair, then they could review it. Look at all the spin coming off the end of the bat there. That was a good call, foul ball.
Another 1-2. Arizona's lone All-American on deck. A player who had an All-American case in the box. Strike 3. Maxwell burns Palacios. 13th strikeout. And Oklahoma State is standing at the doorstep.
That may be one of the hardest pitches that she has thrown all game. Like a curveball or a low rise there, but Threw it 69 miles an hour for the strikeout of the home run hitter, the third time she's gotten her tonight.
It's up to Skaggs. Arizona's leading home run hitter, 24 on the season. Got a hold of one, but fouled it back.
Still have to be careful here. This is a fearless hitter in Allie Skaggs. Loves to swing at everything. She said, I'd love to swing more, not less. So even a pitch that you might think is a good location for a pitch off the plate or a little bit up or a little bit down, she is still a hitter that can make you pay.
Tied for 4th in the nation in home runs. A Pac-12 leader against Maxwell, who is 1 strike away. All-American versus All-American. Potentially to end the night. 2-2. Swinging. 14 strikeouts for Maxwell. And Oklahoma State comes back in the 6th and takes down Arizona. And the Cowgirls are in the winner's bracket on the left arm of Maxwell and the left-handed swing of Petty. Tomorrow, ESPN2 Elimination Friday. Arizona will face Oregon State, Oklahoma State, and Florida for the 2nd time in 3 World Series. Winner of that game gets the winner of OU, Texas. We finally got the close one. What a way to open up the Women's College World Series. An epic performance by Kelly Maxwell, an epic swing by Carly Petty. The World Series continues tomorrow or in some parts of the country later today. 7 Eastern, ESPN2, UCLA Northwestern. Let's send it Sports Center. Here is Scott Van Pelt.